What's up, everybody? It's Carpo here, and I'm going to do this update to a video I did last year about gold, about money, about 666, the number 666. And I've done two videos on this subject. The first one I did, I kind of joked around about the number of the beast being related to, or the mark of the beast being not necessarily, how did I put it? Was it like a social security number or something like that? I can't remember, but it was just kind of all in fun. And then last year, or at least maybe earlier this year, I came across a passage in the Bible. And yes, I do read the Bible. For those who, you know, I've been accused, by Christians saying, "Oh, read the Bible, read the Bible." I have lots of Bibles. I have this one right here. It's called the Commentary on the Whole Bible. Commentary on the Whole Bible by Jameson, Fawcett, and Brown. And it's a very thick book, and it basically breaks all the passages down into the interpretation, obviously, of the author. And I came across a passage, not in here, but last year, about 666. And I'm going to read it to you so you can see the one, first off, the passage. And, this is in Chronicles 10. Or wait, let me think here. Is that it? No, Chronicles 9. 9:13. Now, the weight of gold that has come to Solomon in 1 year is 666 talents of gold. And then he goes on to say about it, the sum named is equal to 3.6 million pounds. This is back whenever this was written. And if we take the proportion of silver, which is not taken into consideration, at 1 to 9, there would be about 200,000 pounds, making a yearly supply of 6 million pounds, being a vast amount for an infant effort in maritime commerce. So this is all it says about it. 666 talents to 666. So I found that kind of interesting in itself, and I looked it up, found out that there wasn't much information on it. Okay, 6 months or so later, here I am, and I'm looking through some information, some weird synchronicities happen, and I come across it again. Maybe I think I came across my old video, and I re-looked up. So I found this. This is in, what is it? Kings 10:14. Now, the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year, 666 talents. It says it again. So there's two parts that talk about King Solomon having 666 talents of gold. Now, I looked it up to see what biblical scholars had said about it, and I found their ideas to be completely preposterous. They're basically ignoring it. And I think with the significance Christians put on 666 in Revelation, why wouldn't they put it on the two other parts of the Bible? And I just couldn't understand it. One guy said, well, it could have been 667, and scholars disagree about the actual amount, which is ludicrous as well to me. Possible, but ludicrous, because most of the amounts given in the Bible are, say, 1,200 head of cattle, 670 of these. They were all in tens, multiples of tens usually, and it's weird to throw in that amount for money. When you're talking about money, you generally round up or down. You round to zeros. You round to round amounts. 666. Another guy said that it's a complete coincidence, and one guy said, just the stories were ludicrous to me. I couldn't understand how a person couldn't, find this to be interesting to me. And I thought there would be all this information on it, and really it's just people asking questions, not getting answers. My theory is this, that first off, Solomon was never proven to be an actual character. We don't know if he was a fictional character. We don't know if he really existed. The idea of Solomon's gold, and there are people looking for Solomon's mines and stuff like that. This idea of gold and wealth and mines is very metaphoric, in my opinion. And 666 in correlation, when they talk about the mark of the beast, I heard one guy say, well, it's not the mark of the beast, it's the mark of man. Okay, well, it's the mark of man. But the mark of man, and here's the thing that really got me, the idea that the mark of the beast, each man will have it, and will have to have it to buy, sell, and trade. Now, of course, that's going to relate to gold, silver, credit. In this society, we have to have it if we want to function in the society. But it says the mark of the beast will be seen upon the man's forehead, basically, right? The whole mark on the forehead thing really got me thinking about the third eye and about the correlation to that chakra and the correlation to that spiritual sense of the mark would be upon the forehead as if to block the spiritual sense of the being. The person has attached themselves so much to money that they can't get over it. They can't get past gain and material gain. And so that third eye is blocked by that ignorance. Now, this may be, some people may say, aha, that totally makes sense. Other people are going to say that's just ridiculous. And some people will say, oh, well, so-and-so already had that theory. I'm sure, and that's great. If you can point me, to these theories, that's great. I'm open to it. It's just that when I come up with an idea like this, it's hard to research it. And basically, the one thing I've learned the most from the Bible is not about obeying or listening to the church or following Jesus. It's about finding yourself, finding your true nature, casting your net to the right side, using your intellect and awareness to build a capacity in yourself to become God-like and become part of the monad, the one. The monad is the all. And that's a Pythagorean thing, but Pythagorean thing. But I find these things fascinating, and the idea that numbers and numerology, people have spent their entire lives trying to decode the Bible or trying to put numbers and understandings to the pages. One of our, Isaac Newton spent the latter part of his life trying to decode the Bible. He thought that everything was encoded in numerology. Failed miserably, and people have been trying ever since. This is what we do with everything. We miss the point. We're so wrapped up in the details of the stories, and some people are taking it so literal, they're missing the point. Some people are taking it so metaphorically or so symbolically, they're missing the point. In the middle, these are stories about us, stories about humanity. And that's why I find the Bible to be valuable. Not because I believe it to be true, but because these stories are allegorical, metaphorical, anthropomorphic, understanding who we are. And so I'm really not opposed to learning from all sources. And if you are, if you're willing to take on, occult science, let's say, or mythology, or, take on a mystic nature, but you completely ignore the Bible and the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita, or any one of them, or any one of the religious texts, you're leaving out a component of yourself, and you're really letting yourself down for not being open to it. Because the only thing you can do by learning it is to say, well, I tried that and it wasn't true. And I think more people are afraid of finding things that do resonate true than don't. In other words, any Christian group could obviously say that, or say a church could say, well, that money is the problem. And instantly the people would look at the church and say, well, look at all this money you're spending. And so maybe it becomes a cover-up issue, or just an ignoring it issue. Or maybe it's truly that they're just totally not aware of these passages in their own book that correlate to having money as being the root of the beast. Nobody wants to think that they're part of the beast when they have money. To me, as talking about money, it's not an issue of money itself. Money is not evil. Money has a spirit of its own, but we harness it. You see, we don't have money. We're custodians of the money. So if a person has a lot of money, just giving it away is not the solution. The solution is to manage it and to help your society. So those who have money, who don't know what to do with it, there's plenty of things you can do with it. Those who don't have money just can't understand it. And I'm one of those people that doesn't have money, so maybe I'll understand it one day. We'll see. Until then, I'll go on reading and learning and gain what I can. So hope any input is appreciated on these these ideas of this gold, the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast being money is nothing new. It's just the idea that when it's related to King Solomon himself, I'm going to have to get deeper into the Solomon stories to quite understand exactly what's going on here. Because I think that there's a deeper meaning to everything. Yeah. Take care.